If you are an appraisal business owner, I didn't say appraiser, there's a difference. If you are an appraisal business owner and you don't have an assembly line, that's a problem. And if you don't have a procedural manual, that's a problem as well.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast.
Minisode.
This minisode is sponsored by my good friends over at Synapse. Good friends, Kyle, Brandon, people that have their crap together when it comes to tech. Check them out and go to spark4appraisers.com. Again, spark4appraisers.com. Welcome everybody to a great minisode. I got off a wonderful coaching call this morning. I love coaching calls. I really, really do. I love the opportunity to meet with my friends, my colleagues, my wonderful peeps, if you will, and to help them to become better business owners. My goal from the beginning of this coaching podcast, blogs, website, you name it, all of this stuff combined, I've only had one goal. I've forever only had one goal. And that goal is to help appraisers to become better business owners. And this morning had an opportunity to meet, I think we're on our fifth coaching call this morning. And we were going through some details. He had put together a couple of different things. But one of them that we focused on today was the assembly line. Now, the assembly line, long story short, is a document that basically shows the step-by-step process of an appraisal. So from start to finish, here are the steps that it takes to get that thing, the appraisal, right, the machine up and down that conveyor belt, and put all the bolts on, put all the nuts on, tweak everything, tune it all up, and then out the door at the end of the assembly line, right? These are the steps that we follow pretty much every single time. And what this individual was doing was expanding, and it's very common, by the way, very common to do, to expand that into being more than just an assembly line. An assembly line is a tool that is very, very simple, okay? It's a one-page, if it's more than one page, you've done it wrong, okay? If it's more than I don't know, 1,000 words, you've done it wrong. In other words, this is a document that shows in a glance, and that's the key here, in a glance, what the step-by-step process is in your office. By the way, every assembly line looks different. Yes, in my coaching, I provide an example, right? Here's the one that I use in my office, but I want you to create your own. This has to be your baby. And he had done that, but the problem was, instead of a 1 or 2 word step, right, or even half a sentence, he was writing out full paragraphs on each one, okay? It's a common mistake. I'll talk about how to avoid that mistake and another tool that you should all have when we get back from the break. I'll tell you another mistake that appraisers have, and we've all done it, right? Let's just admit it. Let's put ourselves out there. Let's offer ourselves up on the altar of sacrifice here. We've all done it, right? And that is makeup adjustments. I know. It's not really making it up, Dustin. It's sensitivity analysis. It's the one that fits. I get it, okay? I really do. I've been there, right? I'm telling you. The statute, I've never done it in the last 5 years, so the statute of limitations is over. But folks, sometimes as appraisers, we forget one of the fundamental rules, and that is support, right? Credibility, okay? And Synapse will help you with that. It will help you because it allows you, it's a tool that allows you to figure it out, that you're not just licking your finger and sticking it in the air. Folks, what would you pay to be able to, with every single appraisal report, and by the way, it's hardly any extra work. It takes 5 minutes to get support for the adjustments that you make in your grid so that you have something, you have a leg to stand on. Trust me, folks, it is worth every penny. Check them out by going to spark4appraisers.com. I know it's Spark and it's Synapse, a little bit confusing. We're talking about Synapse here, but it's spark4appraisers.com. All right, welcome back to the program, everybody. We're talking about today the difference between the assembly line and what I'm going to refer to as the procedural manual. Every appraisal office needs to have both of these. These are absolutely essential. I mean, we're talking about if you are a plumber and you don't own a plunger, that's a problem. Okay. If you are a mechanic and you don't have a screwdriver, that's a problem. If you are an appraisal business owner, I didn't say appraiser, there's a difference. If you are an appraisal business owner and you don't have an assembly line, that's a problem. And if you don't have a procedural manual, that's a problem as well. Let me briefly describe the difference. Before the break, I told you that an assembly line is a very simplistic, very simple document that has a step-by-step process from start to finish. Mine currently has 36 steps. When I say currently, these things sometimes change, right? Things change. But right now, the one that I'm working off of, and it's the same one I've been working off of for years, it has 36 steps on it. These are the steps that I, as an appraiser, business owner, okay, but I, as an appraiser, will follow from start to finish to make sure that that appraisal is done the same way every time. Think McDonald's. You get a Big Mac in Moscow, Idaho, or Moscow, Russia, you're going to get the same burger, okay? That's what we're going for. We're going for scalability. Now, if you've got, for example, as step number 11, choose comps, okay? That's it. That's the only thing on the assembly line. Choose comps, very simple. Somebody might ask, well, how do I choose comps? Now, the mistake that my client made this morning is choose comps by blah, 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 and explaining the process. No, folks, that is for the procedural manual, and they are different things, okay? The procedural manual, by the way, highly encourage procedural manual to be online, to be digital, okay? So that you can share it, so you can be virtual, so you can work from anywhere and still have access to it, okay? When I worked at McDonald's years ago, we actually had a procedural manual that was in a binder and then it was on the shelf, okay? We're talking about a binder for the grill and one for the cashier and one for the drive-through and one for the cleanup, right? There was a different binder for everybody's job, if you will. Well, that was, what, 1986, 87, something like that, okay? That was a long time ago. Now, in today's age, I highly encourage that your procedural manual be online, that it be digital, okay? But this is where you go. A procedural manual looks like this. So your assembly line says choose comps. Your procedural manual will also say choose comps at the top, and then it will explain the process. Step 1, go to the MLS. Step 2, look at your subject data and find out what the square footage is. Step 3, do this. This is a step-by-step process. And really good appraisal procedural manuals will also have videos with screen share showing the individual that you might be training or yourself as a reminder how to do it, right? Here's the step-by-step process, here's the checklist, and here's the video showing you somebody actually going through the process. There is a difference, folks, between the assembly line and the procedural manual. You need both. I'll tell you, the other thing that you need is to join us in Paradise, in Kauai. We are going to Kauai in January. You are invited. Reach out to me, the coach at the Appraiser Coach, and I will tell you how you can attend. Yes, you can attend. It is open to all. You do have to take a few steps to get there. I will tell you how to get there. It will be an amazing, I promise you, no doubt about it, this will be the best gathering of appraisers ever. Check it out. Go to my website, thecoach@theappraisercoach.com.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.